Hey you guys, my name is Milo. I'm the lead photographer of Ink Photography. If you don't know about us, look us up on Instagram at ink_spots or look me up under ink_Milo on Instagram. Today I would like to talk to you guys about doing my edit and showing you how I achieve it and hopefully giving y'all some pointers. I use Photoshop, so if you use Photoshop, you're gonna love this video. And please, if you see something that you think I should add into my photos, please comment and let me know down there in the box. And that's it. Let's go and get right into it. Let's see. So today I chose Saleka as my model for editing. She's really good. You should look her up on Instagram at Saleka. I'll put her description in the bottom. Her profile is phenomenal. She's an awesome model. But I took this picture actually at a laundromat. I'm using it for a sample because it's dark. It's indoors, so the edit for this one's going to be a little bit more different than the one I do for this one. But I like to give my photos a little similarity to the edit I give. So I'm going to give it some equality and make them look about the same, but they're going to be in different environments with different same outfit. I'm sorry, same outfit, just different environment. But all right, I'm going to start with the hard part, which is going to be the retouch. In which I'm going to have to find my actions button, just right here. Let's see. Oh yeah, so I use frequency separation. I'll also add that in the description. Basically what it does is it takes the background and the foreground of the photo, kind of like blends it well when it comes to retouch. So I love to use it. Definitely suggest it. There are other ways, but this is my way of doing it. Let's see. Now let me zoom in on subject. Need to find the navigation or the navigator. Zoom in on face. This is a very dark image, but I am going to bring a lot of this out. It's going to look so much more different. Alright, let's start off with pressing that little I by texture so I can get straight to the skin colors. Use the patch tool. Use healing brush tool actually. And then press Alt and you'll see that. And then that means basically you can copy whatever color you see on her face. Click that so you have the copy. And kind of just smooth that color along her face. Kind of like this. Now this is going to take me a minute, so we might end up speeding this up. Under the brightness and contrast, I'm going to go ahead and higher some of that brightness up. Add a little bit of contrast. Just a little bit, not too much. Let's see. Okay. And now I'm using levels. Levels basically is like the levels of light in the photo. I like to make sure in dark photos I bring a lot of that light out because I'm going to balance it out. Usually I balance it out with gradient maps, but I might do something different with this one. I'm not sure yet. Then I like to add a little linear contrast to my photos with curves. I like to make the opacity really small. Don't want to bring that out too much because I already contrast the photo. But I'll do 2 curves usually sometimes in photos. Curves really knows how to balance that light right, if that makes sense. Just like so. I'll bring that down just a little bit though. Just want to make sure she's well lit. Alright, perfect. Now that'll be our lighting. As you can see, you might see a small difference in a lot of these, but it makes a big difference. Alright, yeah, so now I'm going to focus on the skin color. So we're going to use some vibrance, and I'll kind of desaturate this a little bit only because it's laundromat scene, make it look kind of weird. Then I like to add a little filter too to help out on skin tones. Usually add an overlay. and then opacity that pretty far down, to be honest. It's just a really light color I like to add on my photos. Let's see, what should I do next? Let me look at the photo actually as a whole real quick. Navigator. Alright, cool. That's the photo in a whole with the better lighting and the retouch. Looks pretty good so far, but I'm still going to do a few weird things to it. First, I'm going to do some selective color. I like to do luminosity, just because it's more lighter on the photo. Alright, so now let's zoom in on the reds of the photo, and usually the reds are the skin color. Most of my subjects, unless they're a little darker of skin, of course, it's going to be a different color. But where's that navigator? Where is that navigator? There we go. Alright. Okay. So we're going to focus on face again, because I want to make sure that her face colors were really the best colors of the photo. So let's selective color, luminosity. I'm going to choose this to get back to that setting bars. Let's go with, oh, as you can see, it's getting lighter. You'll notice it. Wait. Okay. Let's even out these tones a little bit. Make it just a little light. Alright, it's perfect. Some yellows, I believe, are in there too, but I want my yellows to be a little dark. I like the yellow in this photo, actually. It's pretty cool. Alright. Next, I'm going to. Those are really the only two colors that really stick out in this photo. Okay, pretty good. Now I'm going to do my gradient maps. Now with my photos, I do like to add some darkness, so I use gradients to do that. Not that one. I usually like this one right here because of the tones, and I like definitely with this kind of picture the orange tones and the purple, but I'm going to change these tones just a little bit to a more dark tone, really, but I still want that purple, of course. So I'm going to get to about right here. Oh wait, probably like right here. And then now this is going to be your darkness and this is going to be your lightness. So it's always best to keep this a little darker, to be honest. So I'm going to move that down just a little bit to the black side. And then I'm going to move this. I just want more red, really. So I'm going to move that down just a little bit. Or more blended orange. There we go. And then make it a little lighter too. It's kind of like so. Alright, just like that. That's going to be my gradient. Custom that real quick. Gonna overlay that real quick. And there you go. There's the highlight. Alright. Turn down the opacity and fill. And let's zoom in again on subject. Now, I don't like my gradients to mix with my subject, so I'm going to be erasing the gradient off by using the eraser tool, because it just messes with the tones of the main subject, and to me it looks better before the gradient. Or not through. I like to mix it a little bit, just make it look more like the gradient's not really there on her, which is morely on the background. But I do like the color, so I'm going to keep a little bit of it in there, actually. Alright, so I highlighted her face on that side. I'm going to go down a little bit to her hands. Start going and get that back in action. Not too much, just about right. Okay. Yeah, that's good enough. So she did mix a little bit better in the tones. You can see her coming out of the picture a little bit better too. Alright, so now I'm going to add some more darkness to it. This is my favorite part. After I hire my gradient up just a little bit more. And I like to use the burn tool to add darkness to my photos, and usually shadows and exposure. I'll probably do like 28%. Make this a little bigger, of course. I would usually duplicate your layer before doing this because a lot of people will mess up, but I've been doing this so many times that I just freestyle it at this point. So I suggest, if you're doing this for the first time, to duplicate your layers. But I'm about to just go for it. So now in the photo, I really want to darken out what I don't want to be looked at, which is going to be a lot of the lighter parts, like this part, a little bit down here. It's nice, but it will look nicer in the shadows. Okay, now I'm probably going to do exposure, just to top it all off, make sure all my lighting's right. I usually like to gamma correct my photos to make it a little bit more darker too, like so. Alright, perfect. Oh, I also noticed one more thing. Really like these yellows here on the sign, so I'm about to go ahead and bring those out some more too. So I'm going to select the color yellow. I might have to actually select that. Oh man, hold on. First let me add a little bit more yellow to it. There we go. And that's just going to be normal selective color. Let's see with it, without it. Yeah. I might have to color balance this now. Alright. Color balance. Just to balance out all the colors in the photo. I want to make sure like all my blues do stick out and don't disappear. I do midtones, shadows, and I do highlights. Some people just do one, but I like to do all of them. Alright. Okay, so now that should be all good. My color should be better. Let's see what it looks like without that, so you can get an idea. See, the color balance makes a huge difference on bringing out those blues. You definitely need that if you want to make sure you see that shadow off better. Also, while I'm thinking about it, selective color black luminosity will definitely help out giving some more clarity and contrast to your photos. So be sure to actually touch that in there too. Or even if you want to make it a little under contrasted, you can do it that way too. But I'm going to add some black in here because it needs it. Okay, cool. And I'm also going to use neutral colors too to get the subject a little bit more brightened out. Just like so. Hold on. And there we go. Yeah. I will add some more blur too. I also noticed in the photo, I really want people to focus on more her face, not like her hand going down like that. So I'm going to add like actually I can add a gradient. This might be a little cool trick to add on to it, to be honest. Let's see. I'm going to do new fill layer, gradient. Okay. Oh yeah. That's not good. Reflected. So I'm going to do a reflected. And what this does basically is puts like a line through your photo. I think it can look cool. Definitely if you want people to focus mainly on the center of the photo, not really the, you know, background too much. So what I'm going to do is like put white there, then I'm going to put black here and black here. Or this is the opacity. Let me lower that down. Gonna have to make this a little bit more thicker. Okay, there we go. That's looking better. Alright, perfect. Okay. Oh man, there we go. So what I did was I put a line basically in the middle of the photo to make a little trick on you, really. It's going to be a little interesting. So what you're going to do is you're going to overlay that. Well, let me see that in soft light too, just to make sure. Because soft light looks cool too sometimes. It can give off a nice little soft light feel to it. Let me show you with it and without. Oops. Let me show you with it and without it. See that? Pretty cool, right? So I am going to soft light it because it just looks better to me. And I'm also going to lower down the opacity a little bit. Make sure the subject is brought out by that gradient I just put there. Alright, cool. And now let's see it with it and without it. There you go. Alright, and now I'm going to add some blur. And I think that about does it for this photo. I kind of like it. Alright, so now just a quick trick I want to show y'all, and I do this on a lot of my photos, definitely if it's in the same scene. I like to drag and drop my edit to the next photo, but via the next scene. This one's got a different scene though, but I like to still keep the same style from the whole shoot type of thing. So what I'll do is I'll take this photo, for example, and I could drag and drop the gradient map, like just the gradient map itself, and apply it to that one. And then, yeah. So then you still see it still gives it that nice effect that I gave this one. After I add a lot more stuff to it, of course, it would look a lot more different. But I love this cinematic, dreamy effect it gives it. Definitely from like coming from here to here. And this is natural lighting versus indoor lighting, so the difference is just amazing. Either way, that's it.